Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, I want to start today's video by saying I like you. I think you're amazing. I think you are a fantastic individual. I think the value add that you have to this world is incredible. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. The question is, do other people like us as well? Do you ever sit around and have self-doubt and wonder, am I likable? Well, I want to tell you something. You are more likable than you probably actually even believe. You know, and being likable brings with it many benefits, right? It doesn't just open up doors and opportunities, but when we're likable, or we are perceived as likable, it brings people up around us. It sends out a sense of positivity and enhances the world all around us. Now, I just want to go through a few items here because I want to show you how likable you actually are. I bet a lot of these attributes that I bring up here are going to be things that you can self-identify with. And when you self-identify with each of these items, you'll realize how likable you are. I want to build you up. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to know, hey, other people like you, you're capable, and you have the ability to accomplish your goals and do amazing things. And you can do it, and you can. I want to tell you, you're a genuine person. That's number one, right? You know, nobody likes a fake. A person can change and mold their personality to fit certain social situations or act in a way that's not inherently who they are to win over short-term favor. But the truth always comes out in the end, right? You know those people. You take them into a certain circumstance and they completely become somebody else. But inevitably, they always go back to being who they were. You know, and that's why I think people appreciate genuine and authentic people. We don't like fakes. And you can usually pick those people out in the crowd. They think they're fooling everybody, but they're not. And you're a genuine person, right? You're just being yourself. We're working together here. You are with good intentions, trying to self-develop, learn how to do some new things that's going to bring some better results in your life, and we're working together. You're doing that genuinely with a good heart. I'm working with you in the same fashion, and together we are going to have incredible success, right? So we know that you're not playing a role or pretending to be somebody that you're not, right? And inevitably, when people find that out, they're inclined to not trust those people moving forward. Once they've found out, hey, you're not genuine, you're not who you said you were, it's really hard to gain back that trust. That's not somebody that you are, though, right? You're a genuine individual who walks into circumstances with great intention and a positive heart, and you achieve amazing things. And that's great. I believe in you. Also, you show positive emotions. You know, likable people come with a smile and put a smile on everyone else's face, right? And how do we do it? Because we are developing together an optimistic view on life. And now we're more upbeat than we've ever been, right? Because good things are happening to us. We're doing good things. We're thinking good things. We're making positive changes. When negativity comes our way or a negative circumstance, we're stepping away from that in the kindest way possible. Taking a deep breath, reading our goal card, and then we're going back into those circumstances with positive intentions because folks like us, you and me, we want to talk about how things can be done. We don't have time in our day to sit around and talk about what can't be done or what's wrong. We want to talk about solutions and ways we can better the world and ourselves and help other people. It's glorious, right? And so we tend to cater to an optimistic view now that we've been working together and we're upbeat. You know, and the fun thing is that when you share that type of an upbeat attitude and you're positive, you are going to attract people in masses. People love a positive attitude. They like a happy person. Why? Because everybody wants to be happy, and you probably know something they don't. And that's what's got you upbeat, got your attitude positive, got you feeling good. You're smiling, you're walking with vigor. You know, life is good. And that's something that you radiate now. And it's wonderful. And it makes you extremely likable. Okay? So, you know, another thing. Likable people are good listeners, right? You know, it's great when we have good things to say, But the thing is, a big sign that you're an extremely likable person is that you feel confident in sharing your thoughts is when other people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings with you. And you're not just listening, right? We talked about being an active listener in some previous videos and how being a good listener shows people you're smart and you have good intentions. You're actually interested in what they've been up to. Maybe you ask them questions about what books they've read or what projects they've been working on. But you're more interested in what they have to say than in what you have to tell them. And when you take that kind of approach with people, they will come to you. They will share with you. And you just never know when the right information will get shared with you that can better your circumstance or maybe allow you to work with that individual so that together you can team up and accomplish some really amazing things, right? So it's good to discuss with people what they did today. Being a great listener and develop some active listening skills is something that we've been working on. I think you're doing a good job on that. And you know what? People are going to react to you and come to you, and they're going to love you for the fact that you're a good listener. So let them finish. And once they're done, then take your opportunity to share your thoughts, but let them finish, okay? And this is going to be great because also you're showing more empathy now. And when you do, when you're empathetic, people open up to you and share with you what's been going on. And because they can be sure that you will not only listen, but you can empathize with what they're saying. Now, this is a double-edged sword. Careful with what you empathize with. Don't sit there and listen to the baby mama drama and people badmouth their children and tell you how horrible their day is. Don't just sit there and agree with them like, oh yeah, it's horrible. Be positive. If you have to, kindly excuse yourself from that conversation, re-engage that person with a positive emotion, and try to discuss with them some good things that are happening in their life. Watch their face change. Watch the frown turn into a smile. Watch them develop an increased vigor in having conversation with you. I love it when I can change somebody's circumstance and all of a sudden they just become a more upbeat individual where 5 minutes ago they were all down in the dumps and the world was falling on their head, Chicken Little and all that kind of stuff. But I think that whether or not you can relate to the emotions or to their personal experience, we just always want to put ourselves in their shoes or try to. It's not everybody's having the best day ever, and we don't always need to step away from somebody who's being negative. Maybe they need some help. Maybe we need to put ourselves in their shoes, listen to their circumstance, see what they have going on. Are they just being negative for the sake of being negative, or are they being negative because they need somebody that can speak with them about their problems and probably help them to identify some solutions? That's part of being empathetic as well. Okay? Another great trait that makes you more likable to others is that you're kind. And it's funny, you have a heightened empathy, obviously. We just discussed that. You're empathetic. You have the ability to put yourself in their shoes, identify with their circumstance. You can review that circumstance and make a determination as to whether or not you have a value add to a solution that will help to enhance their life. But when you show kindness to others and you listen to them, they'll turn to you in moments of need moving forward. And you just need to be ready and willing to help them whenever they need that help, right? And it's quite easy to see why people only help out or perform an action when there's something in it for them. But truly kind people are kind for the sake of kindness, for the sake of caring. Because we care about other people. We want to see them succeed. We want to see them have a better life. We want them to be happier in the day. We don't want anybody to go through this day being sad or angry or, full of dismay because problems are so overwhelming. They feel like the world is just crashing in on their head. Sometimes by being an active listener, having empathy for their circumstance, and offering, when appropriate, solutions or assistance, we can make a huge difference for them and change everything. But we can do that through kindness, okay? And we talked about kindness, and I actually did a post 2 days ago where we talked about ways to be kind to other people. You know, you never know who's just hanging on by a string, and you never know when you're that string. If you can offer a compliment, a kind word, a healing touch, I tell you what, it can make all the difference in somebody's day. You might even change their life. You just never know. You know, lives can be changed with a single word. You can tear somebody down infinitely forever by just saying one horrible, nasty, negative thing to them. You know what? You can also build somebody up for the rest of their lives by giving them a kind, helpful, uplifting word or group of words that build them up and give them confidence. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have just never had anybody in their life who told them, I believe in you and I know you can do it. You know, I say that quite a bit in these videos every day because I believe that those words, if they are to reach the right ear, can make the difference I'm intending to make here, which is a positive difference in other people's lives. You can be that same person, and through kindness, you can change the world, just one person at a time. You're already changing yourself, and you're seeing the meaningful and deep impacts that self-change can have. But sharing that knowledge and that positivity with other people can make a similar change for them as well, whether they want to be positive or want to have help. By being positive and helpful, we can make all the difference for them. And you know, another thing is you put your phone away. That makes you likable. How many people do you ever walk up to and you talk to them and they're on their phone and they have an active conversation with you, but they're still on the damn phone? Now, are they paying attention to the freaking phone, or are they paying attention to what I'm saying to them? It is just so darn annoying to me. I get so upset. I walk up to people, you know, they just keep staring at their computer, you know. Make active eye contact with people. It seems small, but when you're in the presence of other people, put your damn phone away. Put it on vibrate. If it's that important, your leg will vibrate. You can look and see who it was. If you need to step away to take the call or answer the email, you can actually do that in the kindest and friendliest way possible, and then you can come back and re-engage into the circumstance. But put the phone away, because nobody wants to come up and talk to somebody who's got their phone in their hand or who's staring at a computer screen instead of paying attention. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I want to know you're listening to me, and I want to know you're paying attention to me. And I think we just live in this society where we're all just looking down all the time. Anything could happen in the sky. Who'd know? Everybody's looking down at their phone all day long. So actively managing your presence with your electronic devices, I think, makes you likable, because you're somebody who does that now. We've discussed that quite a bit. Putting the phone away, turning it off, don't turn it on until an hour after we've woken up in the morning. We've gone through a lot of different scenarios about actively managing electronics in our life. So just keep that in mind, okay? And it's perfectly okay to, to ask somebody, hey, are you paying attention to me? I notice you're looking at your phone. You say that to somebody, it's not mean, it's not incorrect. You just want to know if they're actively listening to you. And it's perfectly okay to ask that question. 9 times out of 10, people will put the phone in their pocket and say, oh, sorry, and you'll have their complete and total undivided attention for the remainder of the conversation. But people shouldn't have to ask you that. When somebody comes up to you and wants to talk to you about something, put the phone away. You can get it right back out after they leave, okay? It's not a problem. Put it on vibrate. If something comes up, your leg will vibrate. We all feel the vibration, and then you can go handle something you need to handle, but then you can come back and be an active listener and be actively engaged in the conversation with somebody. It makes you likable because they like the fact that you're paying attention to them and not your electronics, right? And another thing that makes you a likable person, I'm sure you can self-identify with this, you're on time. And you know what? It's perfectly okay to show up early even. Nobody ever complained. I mean, don't show up like a day early, but it's okay to be 10 to 15 minutes early to most things that you do. Most of the business meetings, I'm usually the first guy there on the Teams meeting, and I'm sitting there and I play an active game with a team that I manage for some work we're doing for a wonderful hospital in Brooklyn, New York that services the healthcare needs of a poor population in Brooklyn, and they do a fantastic job in that work. But every day we have a call first thing in the morning, and when we do have that call, we always have first, second, and third place, and we kind of give each other a hard time. If you show up first, you got the gold medal, you're on the first on the podium. But if you're the fourth person on the call, you're just standing next to the podium, right? Because there's only 3 spots, and we just all everybody tries to get there a little bit early, but it makes the meeting go well. It makes it likable that we all show up to the meeting kind of joking around with each other and smiling and having a good time and having good conversations before we get down to some serious work where we're taking care of some serious circumstances that we're being paid for. Right? And he who pays says, so we always get right down to business after we have a little bit of fun. But you're on time. And, if you're always running late or somebody who's always running late, let's actively manage that moving forward, okay? There are many things you can do to actively manage your time. You can use your alarm on your phone. You can write a schedule for your day and then hit those points, those time points that you've scheduled. If you said you're going to be somewhere at noon, well, you know what? And you have to show up 15 minutes early, plan for that. Get to the point where you're consistently meeting your time objectives on a daily basis and you're showing up, if not a few minutes early, at least on time. Unfortunately, people think negatively, whether they want to or not, about people who consistently show up late. And it's a negative circumstance. It makes it feel as if being with me was not important, or making our meeting was not important to you because you showed up late. And I just don't like that. And we don't do that. It just makes me feel like maybe you don't value my time, or you don't feel that I'm worthy. And I know that you don't feel that way about other people, but when we show up late, it just kind of tells them that. Like, hey, look, your time really isn't worth it. I'm more important. My time's more important, and what I was just doing was more important. That's why I'm late. If you're late, don't make excuses. Just say I'm sorry, and you'll do better in the future to not be late, and then do that. Do better in the future to not be late. Because when you're on time or a little bit early, it makes you extremely likable. And I know you can probably already correlate with that. I'm sure you're always on, at least if you're not on time, you're ahead of time. And I believe in you, and I know you have the ability to be an on-time person. You can do it. Another thing that makes you likable is you're funny. People love others that have a good sense of humor. They crack funny jokes, or just have good banter, have fun banter and things like that. Nothing leaves a positive impression to any given circumstance when people are involved than when humor is involved. Positive humor that's actually funny. And here's the thing, even if you aren't a person, you might say, hey, I don't really ever have jokes. I don't have a good sense of humor, or my sense of humor is a little askew. Try to see the humor in other people's jokes, as long as they're telling an appropriate, moral, funny joke that's based in that's based in humor. I want to make, a lot of people sometimes will say something inappropriate and think it's funny. I don't even giggle at those jokes. I just usually tend to move on in those circumstances. People know what appropriate humor is. I don't think I have to go into that, but laugh at other people's jokes appropriately. Don't over accentuate your laugh, and that makes people feel uncomfortable. You know how to be appropriate in that circumstance, but it is something that I had identified that I think people like other people who are funny. So the best thing you can probably do, instead of telling all the jokes, just be involved with the humor, laugh, be involved in the conversation, find humor in what other people are saying, smile, You don't have to be the guy who's telling all the jokes or be the funniest guy in the room to enjoy the humor of the circumstance and appear likable, okay? Another thing that makes you more likable to other people, you're polite. This has kind of gone out of style in some circumstances, I believe, but it's not that we're funny or charming that make us extremely likable. It's that we're polite. We say please. We say thank you. We're polite with other people's time. We show up on time or maybe a little bit early. We're polite with our listening skills. We listen to what others have to say. We're an active listener that stays engaged with eye contact and shows empathy and understanding for what the person is saying to us. All of these other attributes that you already self-identify with show that you're a polite person. Just continue with your current efforts. But being polite, hold the door open for ladies or for men or for anybody for that matter. Do some of those old-fashioned things that, they might be old-fashioned, but they never go out of style. Be polite, be courteous. It'll show others that you're likable and it'll attract them to you. Being polite is cool, okay? It is so cool. And the other thing, you show gratitude and you're welcoming to others. Be welcoming. We don't have to like everybody, okay? Some people just bring negativity with them everywhere we go, and I try to avoid those people for the most part, but we can't always avoid them in every given circumstance. We eventually, inevitably, have to deal with everyone at some point in time, and when we do, be welcoming. Welcome them into your home. Offer them some tea. Offer them an opportunity to do business with you. Offer them insight. Offer them your ideas. Offer them an active listening ear where, show them you care. Be polite, but be welcoming. Don't be off-putting. Don't make them feel uncomfortable. Like, what are you doing here? I can't tell you how disheartening that is when I see others make others feel unwelcome because there's something they perceive about them. Maybe they just don't like them. I dislike that. Make everybody feel welcome all the time. It'll change their attitude and their perceptions. When people feel welcome to be around you, they're more apt to be themselves. They're more inclined to share. And you know what? That helps them to develop a better approach to working with you and being around you. They know, hey, you're a positive person. I feel welcome around them, but they're always so positive and talking about solutions. And it will impact their behavior, and maybe they'll become somebody who's being more positive and actively talking about solutions and how things can't be done. The funny thing is, kindness is free. Welcoming people is free. It costs you nothing to be good to others. And you know what? It can change everything for them. And through our compassion, kindness, and attentiveness to others, I think we can make the world a better place. If you don't personally relate to every point that I've just discussed, you know what? Don't worry. And don't start getting caught up in questioning whether or not you're a good person, because you are a good person. Inherently, there is goodness within you. And I think the majority of the things I brought up, because we've been working together, you've been working on developing these attributes, whether you know it or not. It's just coming to you. Your programming is changing, and you're becoming a kinder, more attentive individual. And maybe you don't want to be a kinder and a more attentive individual. Well, too bad, because that's what we're working on here together. And I believe in you, and I'm not going to stop believing in you. So we're just going to keep working together here, and you're going to get there, my friend. It's funny, as individuals, we all bring something unique to the table. And I can promise you, if you bring your own set of traits to the table with other people, they will see the value. They will. And you know what? If you want to improve your likability, if you feel like you're not the most likable person in the room, well, then we kind of have to reflect. Why do we feel that way? What are the things we're doing that we may not feel make us likable? Are we negative? Are we always talking about the problems? Is the fact that we're negative and talking about problems all the time and being negative, does that annoy other people? Or what is it that we have going on? Active analysis of our given circumstance will allow us to make a few changes. It doesn't have to be big changes. Sometimes we just have to make small changes. For the next 7 days, do me a favor. Smile. Just smile. Smile at yourself in the mirror in the morning. Smile all day when you're walking down the hall at work, or when you're on calls with others via Teams or whatever method your organization uses to facilitate effective conversation. Or when you go out on the weekends. It's Friday now, so maybe you're going to go out this weekend. Smile. Be happy. It's a choice. We can choose to either smile or frown. I want you to smile for the next 7 days. See how that changes everything, how it changes your mentality. You'll be thinking more positive thoughts. People around you will be more positive to you just because of one little thing. That great smile on that fantastic face of yours. Okay? Let's just try that for the next few days. Doesn't even have to be 7 days. I think if you just try it out with me for the next couple of days and you smile more, and you may have to actively try to smile more, and that's perfectly okay. Don't give the big goofy, I just had 4 wheat candies smile all day long. But just smile. Just have a genuine smile. And you are going to... you're going to notice some tremendous changes in the way people approach you. And now that's going to give you a chance to develop your listening skills. Put the phone away. Listen to people, what they have to say. You might be surprised at what you may have been missing. I tell you what, there's a lot of good things out there, and most of them are wrapped up in some really incredibly special good people. And I believe you're a part of that package. I'm going to be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about some fantastic things. I believe in you. I know you can do it. Have a wonderful day, friends. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life.